Is Trump crying foul as Iran draws a fresh red line in Hormuz, accusing Tehran of attacking ships and pushing a fragile ceasefire right back to the brink? When Trump claims Iran shot 4 drones at ships, but offers no public proof, is he exposing a real violation or risking another dangerous showdown on shaky evidence? As Trump erupts in Washington with new accusations, anger is building in Tehran, where officials say these charges could wreck the very deal he is trying to sell. Is Iran now furious and ready to escalate, saying Trump is falsely accusing Mojtaba of breaking the truce and using Hormuz as a pretext for a wider confrontation? Is Qassem Soleimani's revenge entering a new phase, with hardliners hinting at a multi-million-dollar bounty on Trump as rhetoric crosses a deadly new line? Amid fresh tensions in the Strait of Hormuz, Trump has accused Iran of breaking the ceasefire agreement that underpins his new regional deal. On June 26, Donald Trump alleged that Iran targeted commercial ships in Hormuz even after the ceasefire was signed, framing it as a direct challenge to U.S. authority. The U.S. president claims Iran fired at least 4 one-way attack drones at commercial vessels, describing the incident as a serious breach of the understanding. Trump said, and I quote, "The Islamic Republic of Iran shot at least 4 one-way attack drones at ships traversing the Strait of Hormuz. One of the drones solidly hit the upper deck of a large and very expensive cargo-carrying ship. Damage was done, but the ship was able to proceed on its way. We knocked down 3 other drones. Obviously, this is a foolish violation of our ceasefire agreement." Unquote. On June 25, a cargo vessel was reportedly hit by an unknown projectile in the Strait of Hormuz, adding a fresh incident to an already tense waterway. The UK's Maritime agency said the impact damaged the ship's bridge off Oman's southern coast, leaving visible scars but no immediate sign of who fired. According to UKMTO, the incident took place about 7.5 nautical miles southeast of Dahit, right along one of the busiest corridors for regional traffic. The ship's master reported no casualties and no pollution despite the damage to the bridge, a narrow escape that still underscored how close this came to disaster. UK maritime officials say the projectile has not yet been identified or attributed, leaving open the question of whether a state or proxy was behind the attack. In the aftermath, 3 vessels, including 2 major oil supertankers, reportedly abandoned planned Hormuz transits via Oman, choosing caution over risk. Notably, the attack hit just as oil prices were dipping and Hormuz traffic was edging back toward pre-war volumes, threatening to undo fragile market calm. Just a week earlier, on June 17, another ship was attacked off Yemen's coast, suggesting a broader pattern of strikes along the region's critical sea lanes. A commercial shipping vessel came under attack from armed assailants near Yemen's port city of Aden on June 17. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations, or UKMTO, reported the security incident in waters close to Aden. According to UKMTO, the confrontation took place roughly 105 nautical miles, or 194 kilometers, northeast of Aden, Yemen. United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations said, and I quote, "UKMTO has received a report of an incident 105 nautical miles northeast of Aden, Yemen. A vessel has been approached to within 4 meters and fired upon by 2 skiffs with an unknown number of armed persons on board. The vessel has deployed security team and returned fire. The suspect skiffs have now disengaged and are in excess 4 nautical miles of the vessel. The crew are safe. Vessels are advised to transit with caution and report any suspicious activity to UKMTO, while authorities are investigating." End quote. Authorities have yet to establish which group or organization was responsible for carrying out the attack on the vessel. Earlier, 2 merchant ships were also reportedly targeted by armed skiffs operating off Yemen's coastline, according to UKMTO. Meanwhile, an Iranian official has escalated the rhetoric dramatically, calling in public for a multi-million-dollar bounty on Donald Trump's head. Hassan Rahimpour Azghadi delivered the remarks at a pro-government rally on June 26, according to Iran International, drawing cheers from a hardline crowd. Azghadi also urged Tehran-aligned supporters inside America to prepare actions against U.S. officials, taking the threat language far beyond simple slogans. Hassan Rahim Porazgadi said, and I quote, "When Trump proudly says I assassinated the leader of the Islamic Republic, we must also say we will assassinate you. Trump says every few weeks that I killed Qassem Soleimani. We can also say we will assassinate you, and we can do it." Unquote. These remarks come as ceasefire tensions continue to build across the Gulf, with every new accusation and threat making the diplomatic tightrope even harder to walk. Meanwhile, the IRGC Navy has ordered ships to use only Iran-approved transit routes through Hormuz, a move that tightens Tehran's practical control over who passes and how. The force said any transit outside officially designated shipping corridors is prohibited, according to Press TV. In a June 25 statement, the IRGC described the use of unauthorized routes as both unacceptable and potentially dangerous. The Navy said all vessels must coordinate with Iranian authorities before entering or transiting the waterway. The warning came days after Chief Negotiator Baghir Ghalibaf pledged what he called a new reality in Hormuz. Iran's parliament speaker said the crucial shipping lane would never return to its pre-war operating conditions. The issue of Hormuz restrictions remains one of the most sensitive unresolved matters, following the US-Iran Memorandum of Understanding. The agreement signed by Washington and Tehran seeks to halt the cycle of escalation, confrontation, and retaliation. Under the MOU, Iran agreed to facilitate commercial shipping through the corridor during a 60-day implementation period. However, Tehran has repeatedly stressed that safe passage remains conditional on coordination with Iranian authorities. The latest IRGC warning reinforces Iran's intention to strictly enforce those requirements and navigation conditions. Iran has installed its heaviest ever offshore oil platform in the Persian Gulf, a move that underscores both its technical capacity and its determination to work around sanctions pressure. The new P4 platform, weighing about 6,200 tons, was deployed at the Rishadat oil field roughly 90 kilometers south of Lavin Island in the Gulf. Officials say the structure was fully designed and built inside Iran, highlighting domestic engineering and manufacturing despite years of US-led sanctions restricting foreign technology. The P4 is expected to boost Rishadat's crude output by about 35,000 barrels per day, adding a significant new stream to Iran's offshore production. In addition, the platform can inject around 80,000 barrels per day of water into the reservoir, a key technique used to maintain pressure and sustain current production levels over time. Iranian engineers used a complex float-over installation method to position the massive topside on its base, reflecting growing expertise in advanced offshore construction techniques. Experts note that US sanctions delayed the project by limiting access to specialized equipment and know-how, stretching timelines and increasing reliance on local solutions. Iranian officials argue that completing the platform shows the country can adapt and ultimately defeat sanctions pressure by building up its own industrial capabilities. Since 2018, Tehran has increasingly leaned on domestic firms and engineers for energy development, from drilling and platform construction to subsea systems. The Rishadat upgrade represents a major boost to Iran's offshore oil sector, expanding capacity just as diplomatic conditions start to ease. Iranian oil exports have also climbed to a new high in the days following Tehran's recent deal with the United States, suggesting the country aims to capitalize quickly on any opening in the market. According to tanker trackers, Iran exported nearly 36 million barrels of crude oil within a span of only 6 days. Since June 15, Tehran has reportedly accelerated shipments after Washington eased selected restrictions on Iranian oil exports. Another 36 million barrels of Iranian crude reportedly remain at sea, awaiting delivery to international buyers. The figures suggest Iran could rapidly ramp up exports if regional tensions continue to ease in the coming weeks. Iran's oil shipments had previously fallen to their lowest levels in 6 years amid the impact of America's Hormuz blockade.